The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Spoiler alerts all ahead here, so if you have not seen The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, please feel free to stop the video right now, watch the movie, and then come on back. The video is not going anywhere, live or post, so feel free to come back and check it out. But yes, so spoilers coming this way. In the movie, obviously, they go to a Civil War battle indirectly, and that's what we're going to be building today. They are fighting over, in the movie, they're fighting over a bridge. So we're also going to be doing that here today too. There's going to be a lot of effects, there's going to be a lot of explosions, effects, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. But before we do any of that, I want to kind of like make this into a tunnel. I don't remember exactly who suggested it, but somebody did suggest putting a tunnel here. Also, I like how this ride is looking. It looks astonishing, in my opinion. Well, thank you, Dr. Brown. Yeah, I'm trying to take some of that City Skylines vibe and trying to make it all come together. By the way, I'm just going to keep doing stuff while I'm not going to sit still and read the comments like I tried to. I'm going to just keep going like this so I don't, like, you know, sit here for like 15 minutes and not say anything. But yeah, thank you, Dr. Brown. We're trying to put a lot of detail in here, and I'm taking some suggestions as well. I would highly recommend this movie for anybody, by the way. There is obviously huge spoilers here, so I mean, once again, the movie did come out in 1967. Most of the cast is all dead at this point, sadly. Clint Eastwood's like the last one, but it mostly focuses on like it's such a good movie. I'm gonna like try to move this down a little bit more. So let's push that in. We gotta make sure that we gotta make this realistic for these rails. I know there's people that make the rails that are not realistic and they're kind of like chilling underneath, you know. But I want to make them as realistic as possible. Just because it's gonna give me a heart attack if I can't see the track ride the entire time. I have a chocolate milkshake right now. Hey! I have a strawberry shortcake ice cream earlier today. Dang, Dr. Y'all are eating good. Claude, do you know how to get a separate roller coaster track to use as decoration parts, as like spare parts? Yes, I do know how to do that. We'll be doing that later. Not today. Nowhere near today. We're working on a Civil War battle, but yeah, I know how to do that. We did that in our last park. I don't know if you saw our last park. We did that with the go-karts. But yeah, we'll be getting one of those later. Don't you worry. Alright, so let's push this in. So let's go down. We kind of want to make this like... We need this to go down. And I usually don't ever dig stuff out in this game, just because I find it a little bit confusing sometimes. Because it's kind of like hard to like judge where we're building stuff, and you don't want to go too far down. But we're going to need to go down. So this could be the second part of the hill. And then I guess we can go down like one more. And then we need to like build the river too. So we'll go down like to here. And then we can bring this out a little bit. Bring this out a little bit. And then we need to build the river. So let's tear this out real quick. And we'll go down just slightly so we can make the bridge. Oops, wrong one. Go down here, make the river here. And the river is kind of big in the game. Or, I mean, in the movie. So we'll make it a little bit big here in the game. Go like that. And then, hopefully, we're allowed to place water in here. The water is quite dirty in the film. So let's grab ourselves some dirty water. Here we are. Beautiful. Okay, the problem is this is now getting changed, so let's try to flatten this out here. Let's bring that out to here. Alright, beautiful. And then we can, in theory, do the same thing on this side for the south, but the south doesn't need a crazy amount of land area, because this is going to be just a small part. We're barely going to see it in the ride, so they don't really need a huge proportion. So just giving that forced perspective or false perspective, whatever way you want to call it, we're going to do that here. So we just got to make sure we get rid of all these little floating pieces, because sometimes it's a little bit glitchy. but it's nothing we can't fix. Go like that. Push this in a little bit. We'll shape those out a little bit later, but for now we'll just leave it like that. And then I guess we can push this in a little bit. Oops. We'll push this down a little bit here. We'll flatten this out. And, you know, we'll go down just a little bit more like this. Like so. And then we'll pull this up. Because we don't need the same size as the... I mean, we don't really need the same size as the south. Because you're not going to see it. You're really not going to see it. You probably... Yeah, where I'm going to block this off. You're not going to see it at all. I mean, you're going to be going so quick. You might, like, look over. Like, obviously, because we're making the whole thing. But you're going to look over, but you're not going to really acknowledge. You're going to really see the... The animatronics back here are pretty much just going to be still animatronics, and they probably wouldn't be actually moving. There might be a couple guys doing some things, but these are so far away from, like, the guests, you probably really wouldn't see it, so we're not going to do a million bits of detail down there. We're going to bring this mountain bit a little bit across over here so we can get a little bit of a variety to continue with this ride. And then we do need to build a bridge. I think this has actually turned out quite well. I did a little bit of a test run in a practice park now, because I really want to try to get this stuff kind of like tested out before we start doing it on stream, because I'll have a huge heart attack if I don't. But I think this is looking good. So we just got to do a little bit of smoothing out, and then we can start doing some detail things. So we need to detail it here, and then we need to put the bridge here. And then we need to build tents over here, everything with the south over here, everything with the north over here, and then we'll get into it. So let's press play. Let's see how this looks from the game aspect, and then I will see what you guys are talking about. Oops. Claude, do you know how to do separate coasters? What about having a little Easter eggs in the theme park? Yeah. Oh, the hidden Mickeys, my dudes. We have a bunch of. We were doing some of those earlier. Remember, guys? I'll show you in 2 seconds after this. After we check this out. All right. I'll show you this in a couple seconds. Good idea, though. We definitely want those. We definitely want those. All right. I just kind of really want to see how this looks real quick. I wasn't planning on doing that, but that's the only time that really those loops came in handy. All right, how's the tunnels looking? Probably should move it out a little bit more, put some detail in. Okay, so we come out, we see this huge Civil War battle over here. We come around, and then we gotta stop at a tent here. We gotta stop at a tent in here, like this. So we stop in a tent, and then the battle starts, and it goes boom, 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 boom. All right, I don't like that there, but anyway, we should probably stop in the tent here. We should stop in the tent here and then do that, because I don't like that at all. I absolutely hate that. All right, so we got to just change that up. I meant more than hidden Freds. Yeah, we have a hidden Fred right here. We got a hidden Fred here that is hidden. Obviously, you won't be able to see this from ground level, because if you are as a person, you would not be able to see him. You would just see all this concrete. We're a little bit taller, like right about here. You wouldn't see any of this. If you're flying over it, you would see the hidden Fred. Another hidden Fred here is some dark hidden Fred lore, because like every park has dark hidden lore. This looks like a bone here. People say that Fred was buried underneath this entrance / check-in queue area. I don't know. It looks like a bone from the top. That's another hidden Easter egg, because Fred is technically dead. Is Fred buried underneath the entrance? I don't know. We'll never know. But that's another little hidden Fred. All right, let's fix this ride here. I do like how it comes out to here, but I just don't like that at all. So let's just take that all out. And then let's go here, and then can we make ourselves a thingy? You can only be placed on a straight 90-degree angle. Isn't this 90? Yeah, 0, 0, 0. Okay, that's very shocking. All right, so we're going to build the tent here. So let's build a tent here. Hold section. We're going to hold for about 10 seconds. Build that there. Put the drive tires in. And, no, let's go back out. Let's put in the brakes section. Where is that at? Magnetic brakes. Make it a little bit shorter. Make it 4. Then we'll put in the hold section. Place that there for 40 seconds. And then, or 10 seconds. And then drive tires. Make these go out a little bit farther. We can actually rotate these. This is fantabulous. We'll rotate these out a little bit like this. Turn it around like this. I really want people to see this battle scene. I really love the battle scene from Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Disney Worlds. It's very sad that they changed it, like, all now. But it is what it is. I really like that, so we're going to try to go with a longer battle scene here. Like this. And then from here, honestly, we'll figure out what we're going to do, because it's... After this, we have, like, one more scene that I want to do that probably will take up this entire area here. And then we'll be done with this park. Or, I mean, not done with the park, but done with this ride. I meant more than the Hidden Freds. What do you mean by that, then? What do you mean? Oh, you know what? Because this technically in the movie, it's not really... It's like a plain piece of land. I guess we could try to kind of make this look like a tunnel or something. Like, the water's not going to go anywhere, but we'll kind of make it look like, from the guest point of view, that this is kind of like a tunnel or a cave. And then we could do the same thing over here as well. Maybe we could put like a waterfall, just because why not? Waterfalls look awesome. Yeah, you know what? We'll build a waterfall there, just because why not? Let's do a little bit more terrain work here, because I love the terrain tool. It's very soothing to use it, not gonna lie. And then we need to take ourselves a paint, rocks. There's a lot of sand in this movie, because it's a Western film. There's some green, though, that's true, but I like the sand. Or the rocks, or whatever you want to call it. Really like them, so we'll place them in here. And then we'll paint that in there as well. We'll just do the whole thing now. Now that I'm saying this, let's just do the whole thing. And then we'll paint that in there too. Look at that. And, well, you know what? We're going to have to paint in some rocks. That looks too fresh. So let's go back out. And then let's paint in some rocks on the side of this. Paint some rocks in there like so. And then we'll paint some rocks in here. Put some rocks in here, just to give us a little bit of variety. You always have to give yourself variety. If you don't have variety or diversity, it's just not going to look too good. Okay, you also don't do that, though. Just give it a little bit of a change. Make it look good. We'll put some rocks in there later. I don't remember... Maybe it was a lot. I mean, in the movie, it was a hill, but it was like a really lush green hill, but not like that, though. It's very weird how they explain that, because if we're going to be on the ride here, you're going to be able to see over that. So I guess we're going to need to make these, we're going to need to make this taller or make that shorter. And it probably would be easier to realistically make this taller than the other way around. We just trying to block it from the guest point of view. Back here would be like in theory, this could be like a poster wall or something, you know, where it's like a picture. It's like a picture, a backstage picture. You know, parking spots back here, extra lights, extra animatronics. You know, staff rooms, quarters, you know, doors letting in, safety equipment. That's what would be hidden back there. But from the guest point of view, all they see is just the, you know, they see that mountain there, which actually looks quite fresh, by the way. And, you know, as a guest, you would know nothing. You would know nothing about that. Because that's what we were doing like this over here, like on our main street, Dr. Brown. Because I know you're kind of new to the Planet Coaster thing. But, like, on the main street, like, this door would be shut during, like, you know, regular hours. And then, you know, you're coming down to Main Street, you're just chilling, you know, you're doing your own thing, but you would never realize that, you know, back here's all the parking spot, because you would never be able to get in there. Even when you come through this ride over here, you see a sound stage. You know, there's, oh, we can't go into that one, because, You know, they're doing something, and then here you go in here, but you don't know as a guest point of view, you don't know that that's just a empty wall. That's pretty much what we're doing over there. For anybody that did not understand that concept, that's what we're going for. It's like, oh, you see all these buildings here, but you don't see this. The guest would never see this. Here's another door that opens up. And that's why you block it. You know, your guest comes across here. You really don't see it. You even see the 34 in the back, but you don't realize that it's not actually, there's no 34. It's just a facade. I love that. I absolutely love those little details. And that's why we're doing a lot of that in this park. And we're going to have a backstage over here, you know, with extra parts here and some more extra parts over here. And that's what it is. That's why we're doing this specific staging. Because while we're on the ride, we will never see the back of this. So we don't really care what this looks like. We'll never see the back of this. We'll never see the bottom over here, which could be more parts. And over here, we only see this. We only see the inside. So it's very good staging. Just same thing back here. We'll never see the back of this. But that's what I meant. If that makes any sense. Maybe a launch that goes over the battlefield after you have gone through the scene. Oh, we're not doing any of that, Meep. We are doing a ride here. In Disney World, there's a lot of rides. And this is a ride. We're not doing a lot of crazy stuff. I really didn't want to do this even at all. But I put this in here to kind of like Meep, like this is the only thing we're doing here. This is as crazy as we're going. And this is the only thing that's as crazy it is going to be on this ride. We want this to be a family-friendly ride, family-friendly place. I love the guests in this game, and I love the Sims, but remember, we're making this for... We got to take this, we got to subconsciously think about this. We're making this for our amusement park. We're not making this for the characters. They're just NPCs. They don't really matter. We're making this for our park. This is our park, not this Sims park. They can come here and spend all their money, but this is our park. We're making a piece to share with real life people, not computer people. I don't care if the rating is -69. I don't care if the rating is it's going to make people throw up or get really sick. We're not worried about that right now. We're worried about theming taking a very long time. I don't care if people are waiting in lines for a long time. I don't care if anybody doesn't wait in line. We're making this for ourselves. I don't care about any of that. I do want to take care of that, but we're not making like a specific budget park right now. We're very Disney World high budget, and people will go on this ride. People will go on this ride. We proved that yesterday. We're not gonna. It's not like a huge crazy thing. We're making this for ourselves. We're not making this for the Sims. Because I don't care about them. Claude, do you sometimes prefer to watch gameplay without commentary? No, I absolutely hate videos without commentary. I hate videos that use text only. Absolutely hate them. I like films that are made with text, but I can like silent films with text in it, but I cannot do YouTube videos. If I'm looking up a tutorial, I better hear somebody say, hey, this is what you do. I don't like reading text personally. Like, I'm talking about the silent films where they didn't actually have audio. Now, after they produced audio, there is no reason that people should not be talking. That's in my opinion. Fred's has a long tongue. Is in that Easter egg? Yeah. What's up, Alan? What's up, Park? Thanks for going out the stream, man. I want this game. Well, yeah, man. It's gonna be coming out on sale soon. Hopefully, it should be coming out soon in the Steam item or the Steam or the Steam area for cheap. It's not free, but they usually release this game for free and on the Steam Workshop. It's like Planet Coaster, or I mean, of course, it's like Planet Coaster because it is Planet Coaster, but it is like I mean, it's not exactly like SimCity or City Skylines. Sorry, I don't even remember what games I play anymore. It's not exactly like City Skylines, but it is. I mean, in a concept, it is. Just like in City Skylines, we did cities that were really focused on the Sims and caring about them. But in this park, we're making it very high themed, very high detail. We have an unlimited budget. We have an unlimited, star capacity. There's nothing to worry about. We will eventually do a park where we care about all the Sims, but they're not doing that now. Family friendly. You have someone that's Meep, that's a part of the movie, but they're not. It's a part of the movie. The movie is rated R, so maybe it should be rated R. He can't buy it for you, LO. Yeah, I have no money. Why 69, Claude? What? I don't even know what he's talking about. All right. No, they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't want that. No, they want that. I know they no, they won't want that question mark. I feel like without commentary and no text, it would be have text part commentary. Claude doesn't like to read. I try to read the chat as much as I can. I don't know if I said this yet. I had 250,000 comments in my YouTube channel in the last year, so I do appreciate every single one of you guys commenting. And I am definitely trying my hardest to read all the comments out loud. But I cannot read 250,000 comments, all of them correctly all the time. And I don't read anything really correctly at all. Anyways, so sorry. All right, we need a bunch of cannons. We need a bunch of cannons here kind of lined up because this is going to be like the you know, the battlefield for the north over here. So let's get a bunch of these bad boys up. And then we should probably put some more up here too, because in the film there's a bunch of them up like above the camera. So we'll put a couple of them there, put a couple of them here. Maybe like we could technically put one up there, but we probably won't. Put a couple of them there. And then, oh, that's looking fresh, my dudes. And then we'll put a couple cannons over here. We won't go too high considering this side is not that detailed. We're not going past it in the cart, remember? Or in the coaster. Very simple, more simple-ish. Some of these are going to be floating a little bit. We'll fix that a little bit later. And then we do need the bridge, which I don't think is called a bridge in this game. I think it's called something else. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a jetty or something. Yeah, here it is. Jetty long is what it's called. So let's put these down here. We'll put the bridge. We'll put the bridge right here. Which, by the way, in the film, it is quite a small bridge. It is quite a small bridge. It is quite a small bridge. So we're gonna be using a small one as well. Yeah, didn't want to mean it to, like, say it like that, like where I didn't really care about the guests. We were making this whole ride for the guests. Remember, we're making this for the guests, as in theming. It's a ride. It's not a coaster. We're not really too focused on the. I don't really care about the rating, honestly. We worried about that last park. This park, we worry about the theming. So, not to get everyone, like, upset. I would rather have more theming than not. Alright, let's grab all of these. Push that in a little bit. Like that. Beautiful. No, they won't? What do you mean, no, they won't? I mean, without commentary and no text, if they had text, that's commentary. I mean, technically. It's just gameplay. What's up, Obi? Thanks for watching on Twitch, my dude. Thank you so much, my man. All right. So what we need to build here is technically, obviously, realistically, this probably wouldn't be here. What's up, Duma? Thanks for coming out to the stream, man. Technically, we need wooden scaffolding. Wooden scaffolding, yes. So let's grab some wooden scaffolding. Let's put this here. So technically the cart should stop right about here. We'll press play and hopefully it'll stop right here. And we're going to make ourselves a little bunker here. Realistically, in the movie, it's like right over here. But for our park, just because we can't really, you know, realistically, even with this very high budget, we have to figure out where we're going to put some stuff and kind of like hide it in. So we'll build one here. Maybe we can make actually the long one. I think the long one would probably work a little better. Or there's even ones without actual panels on there. I would actually like the panel, or the, what's it called? These little thingies. So let's use this one here, and we'll build that up. And we'll build this across here. This will also give the guests a little chance from the sun, because it might be quite hot outside, depending on how this is going. Where is the coaster? There it is. So we'll just wait for that to come around, and then we'll pause it. Alright, beautiful. Alright, we only need one of these because we need to make the legs on them a little bit smaller. So we'll build this up a little bit here. Click on this. Edit. Oh, that's not a building piece, so we'll press X. We'll go here, grab ourselves some wooden scaffoldings. We'll bring that down, bring this around town. Yeah, bring it around town. And we'll push that in a little bit, like so. Push that down. And we'll push that down right to there. Control that X. Control X that over. Bring that to there. Grab this with I. Control X. Bring that over. Click on that. That should be lined up. Okay, now we press I. Click on all four of these legs here. And then click on the merge to scenery piece. Beautiful. And now that we made our own little piece, we can now copy and paste this over here. So we need a little sort of shelter where these guys would, hang out. In the film, it is really a... oh shoot, I forgot the game is a little bit glitchy sometimes. I don't want to make them all same piece. I want them to still be individual, just using my copy of them later. So there's a little, so right here in the movie, there's a wooden table here, and there's a drunk Union captain, and they're overlooking the battle, which, I mean, in realistic terms, it wouldn't be here, but it is a good view of the north side. So let's use our terrain tool, grab this, grab scenery, grab the push tool, push this in here. Let's flatten foundation first. And then we will, I think that's probably about fine. And then we'll rock this in. And then we should maybe smooth this out a little bit here. Smooth that out. Grab this, rock that in. And then the Union captain here he's drunk. Simon would love this man. He's drunk like the entire time we meet this guy. So we'll put in some... tables here and some things here, just to kind of give it a little bit of detail, but we do need to make the table with some bottles. And we're technically in the trenches right now. All right, Dr. Brown, for sure, man. You come back whenever you're free, man. Thank you so much for coming out today. Oh, yes, we need to get some barrels. Yes, barrels are very epic. Very epic. I love barrels. All right, and then we'll flip that over to the side. Push this up, and then we can say that all the liquor's in here. Put some barrels there. And then let's grab these, put a couple more on top, like so. And then rotate that a little bit, just make it a little bit different. And then we need a table. So let's grab ourselves a table. And we're using always the same spooky table, sadly. A spooky table looks just too good to change. There's no chairs by this, by the way. It's literally just a table. Nothing else. So we'll put that there. And then we should probably get the drunk Union soldier here as well. We'll move that a little bit out, and we should try to get some bottles. He's the captain of the brigade. So he's quite important to the film. But he doesn't last too long. So let's grab ourselves a... I see, the problem is I really wish the red coat guys could be changed. Meep, I know you know a lot more about this game. Is there a way to make a custom animatronics in that Theme Maker's toolkit, or no? I don't know if you knew that or not. I just wanted to ask. And we have a bunch of soldiers here. Can I grab any of these? Oh, the problem is they're all stuck together. Let's save too. Claude, family-friendly park. Meep, you're promoting alcoholism. There is, but it's complicated and hard to explain. Alright, see you, Obi. Thank you so much for coming out to stream and have a great, beautiful rest of your day, man. Yeah, well, I mean... Okay, I'll look it up later, because, yeah, I was not expecting to do this now. I'm not expecting to do this now at all. But, yeah, I mean, it is kind of promoting alcoholism, but, I mean, once again, it's a part of the film. So, leaving it out would be changing history. And I don't like it how people try to change history. Because history should not be changed. We need to know. We need to know. We need to know. So here we'll put in the drunken Union officer there, as well as get the good, the bad, and the ugly over here. Which here is here's the bad and the ugly. The ugly does escape from this from the bad here, so we do need to put him back over here. And at this point in the film, the bad doesn't go to the battle. He's only going for the gold, because he does know where the gold is. Because Tuco the bad, or Tuco the ugly told him where it was. So we'll put Tuco there, which he is sitting there in technically terms for the movie. And then we need to grab the good, and we'll put him over here because they met back up again. Talking to the Union soldier. We gotta try to get some bottles in here somehow. And then put some lights in here too. I spent 6 hours on one small piece, and that is what you call dedication. Yeah, it's probably quite hard to do those sort of things, but I really want to kind of figure it out. I've not seen anybody use... I've seen people use them, but I've never, like, seen somebody use, like, you know, make it. I downloaded a map, and it said it requires Theme Maker's Toolkit stuff. So I didn't use that map. But I really would like to figure out how to use it one day. So one day you'll see me probably have something in the park, and I'll probably make a time-lapse video on it or something. We'll put some of these oil lanterns kind of hanging above, because I feel like it would realistically be like this. We're kind of, remember, we're, it's like the movie, but we're adding some things that are a little different. But we're not changing the film. We need to light it up for the ride. And it broke, so then it took me 10 more hours to fix it, and then I gave up. And that is on pass. Man, I hate to hear that, mate. I hate to hear that, dude. That's like the saddest thing when you see something break. Like, I had a lot of things. I don't think you were here, me, when we started doing... You were definitely not here at this time, but we did a Minecraft series, which we are still doing, by the way. We just haven't played in a while. Fred's Wonder... No, now I'm getting them all mixed up. What's the thing called, guys? Fredcraft, yes. Fredcraft. And on there... we had multiple iron farms, by the way. We had like 6 or 7 of them. And oh my goodness. Maybe not 6 or 7. How many did we really have? Let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, four. We had like 4 or 5 of them. Realistically, we had like 4 or 5 of them, and it's very frustrating when stuff breaks, especially in Minecraft. Gosh, it was frustrating. But we just decided to use an old design, which doesn't work as well, but does still work occasionally. So we left that in there instead of using these all fancy things, because it is kind of a little bit heated. What we're doing right now, for anybody that's curious, I know Simon probably would know this because he loves history, but the duck boards. Duck boards are technically not a part. Were not coined until World War One. But the duck boards are boards where you can walk across them and not get your feet wet. Considering calling them a duck board. Technically, this is not a part of the time period, but they did have wood there. It was just not called a duck board. I don't know what it would be called during the Civil War. But we are putting that in this park just to give it a little bit of variety under the track. And there's a bunch of trenches. Because people forget that World War I had the most amount of trenches, but the Civil War did have a lot of trenches in them. Had a lot of them. So we're just going to try to get this kind of generally lined up here. Push that in. Yeah, I don't even know if that's even worth my time. We'll leave that there, but I don't think we're going to do that anymore. That's not even worth my time. It's a detail that no one will see. It's so painful when you put so much work in, and by the end, you want... And by the end... you want to end it. Honestly, it's annoying. Yeah, I'm not surprised. There's a lot of things. That's why I have to take breaks. If you spend, you know, 12 hours streaming or something like that, honestly, you get so burnt out. And then you don't want to play the game ever again. And that's quite frustrating. Oh, can we grab this? Is this a part of, like, a building piece? It is. Okay. Let's duplicate this. Flip this upside down, because I need it to be flipped upside down. Bring this up. Alright. We'll click on this. We'll delete... we won't delete anything yet. We'll take a couple of these out. Grab these, duplicate these over here. So what I want to do is, I want to make this like, you know, a Civil War sort of trench. So, if we can grab just some little sections here, we can really make that come alive. If we, of course, do this correctly. So we've got to try to make this a trench with using very limited pieces. We'll actually, in this case, flip these back around so that we can actually see the wrappings on the inside of it. For realism. So this is going to take a long time to do, but it'll definitely give the vibe of actually being into the trench. Plus, it'll look good. It's just those spikes just flipped upside down. My first piece was a little piece of roof that took 3 hours, so I could have the roof that I wanted. Oh my god. Yeah, god. Planet Coaster and roofs. I feel that, Meep. I feel that. Planet Coaster doesn't like to do some things easily. I do feel that. Oh my goodness. Wait, I thought you were getting Planet Coaster. I thought you were getting Planet Coaster for your Xbox. Does Xbox even have that? Or were you watching somebody do that? Or did you have a computer and you just don't have a computer anymore? All right, beautiful. Because once we get to the straight part, it's just as easy as copy and pasting forward. The curves are the ones with a little bit of, you know, we gotta multitask each one of these. But when it's done, it's gonna look fabulous. And then we could probably place some more down there. We just gotta make sure that we can see that. Oh, you can clearly see that. That's good. All right, and then we'll copy these over here, these straight pieces. Bring these forward, flip those at 45. Bring them back, bring them across. Bring them down. Make sure that this is going actually straight. And you guys say that I'm OCD about, you know, getting stuff straight, but look at this. It's going to eventually go so far off to the side, it's not going to look good. So let's line that up. Make sure that that is actually straight. Also, even though this is technically a real Civil War prop, you know, actually having the little trench things there so you can cover yourself and shoot, at the same time, it is preventing guests really from sort of going over it. It's not like, obviously here it's low, but it's really saying, hey, if you get off the ride and you get over this, we're gonna kick you out the park. So don't go over this. You know, it's a little bit of a safety hazard. Not exactly, but just a little bit. And I'm lowering this down here, so you should be able to see it on the ride, these little cannons down here. You really can't see this row here at all. You can see the enemy cannons, which is fine, but you really can't see any of the our own cannons on the front. So we're gonna get rid of some of these down here. So now that that is beautiful, we'll delete these here, and then we will move these just a little bit back and a little bit higher so you can see them. Maybe we could train this one down a little bit, because it's very sharp. There we go. Move that up a little bit easier so you can see it a little bit easier, like that. We'll rotate this a little bit. Realistically, maybe that wouldn't be like that. But, you know, once again, these are animatronics, and they're not actually shooting real lethal cannonballs. They're shooting smoke, if that, every day for like 365 years a year. So it doesn't need to be too crazy. And then these here too we can change up as well. We'll put some more cannons over here. There's a lot of cannons in the film. So we'll put some there. Obviously this is the Confederate side. There doesn't need to be that much there. Just a couple things there. So now what we gotta do is place in some tents. Maybe some more wood, soldiers. Then we'll get into it. There is one more part, Meep, that I may need your help here. It's not going to be an inversion. It's not going to be anything crazy like that. The reason why we're not going to be doing like a whole like thing over it is because it's the Civil War. It's a cowboy film. There's no helicopters. There's no cars. There's no planes. For our later movie that we're going to be doing, we will have something like that because you're technically in a helicopter. So we'll do something like that, but just not right our end. All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. Sadly, we were not able to finish this. I gotta clean up this pop that I spilled, so I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting live or post. I will see you next time. Bye.